What's up? It's Ben from WODprep, and in this video, I'm gonna help you get your best score on CrossFit Open Workout 24.2. This WODprep strategy video is sponsored by RX Smart Gear. They are my absolute favorite jump ropes. I recently started using them, and I will tell you exactly which rope I suggest later in this workout. But if you want to get a special discount, just go to Rxsmartgear.com and use the code WODprep to save money on your order of the best ropes for doing double unders. As a quick disclaimer, remember, WODprep is in no way, shape, or form associated with CrossFit, CrossFit Inc. in any way. So CrossFit is a registered trademark of CrossFit Inc. And these are just simply my opinions, WODprep opinions on how to do better in this workout. And this is my own commentary, not theirs. If you're someone who's looking for the complete strategy guide to go along with this, including mindset tips, scaled and masters tips, and a bunch of other bonus content, go to wodprep.com/open and you'll be signed up for free for our complete strategy guide to go along with this video, including links to all the different videos that we think will help you get better, especially when it comes to double unders if you struggle with them. So 24.2 is a 20-minute AMRAP of 300-meter row, 10 deadlifts, and 50 double unders. To see the exact movement standards, go to games.crossfit.com to see the exact weight and standards for the division that you will be doing. And this workout is all about pacing. So that's the first thing we're gonna start with talking about. We're gonna talk about pacing, and then I'm gonna go through each movement. We're gonna talk about a few things on the rower that's gonna help you get a better score, then the deadlifts, and then a lot of people's arch nemesis, the double under. Let's start by talking about our pacing and overall strategy for the workout before we move into the individual movements. This workout is very long when it comes to open workouts. It's 20 minutes, and just like last week, so many people will be trapped into going really, really fast in the beginning. 300-meter row, they're gonna go fast. They're gonna do their deadlifts unbroken easily, and then they'll do whatever they can do on the jump rope. Some people are gonna make it look easy, some people not so much, and that's okay. But oftentimes, regardless of which camp you fall into, most people will start this workout too hot, and come 8-9 minutes, they're going to be really hurting. And then the second half of the workout, the last 10 minutes of the workout will be slow, grindy, and you're not gonna get your best score possible. Your goal when it comes to pacing this workout is to do the first 10 minutes at a comfortable pace. That's like 80 to 85% effort. That means I want you to purposely dial it back a little bit so that come the 10-minute mark, you're like, I'm feeling pretty good. I can keep this pace forever. And then probably what's gonna happen is it's gonna get harder. And ideally, if we can stick with that 80 to 85% effort pace and maintain it all the way through the end of the workout, maybe with the last 3 or 4 minutes, sprint if you have any extra energy, that is how you're gonna get your best score. How you will get a bad score is if you start off really, really fast and then you slowly taper as the workout goes on. That is going to leave you with a poor score. When it comes to the strategy for this workout, transitions are everything. So it's very important that you make sure you're minding your transitions. The 300-meter row will go by quick. The deadlifts will go by quick. And if you're decent at double unders, they're gonna go by quick too. So that means lots of transitions between apparatus, lots of transitions in and out of the rower. We're gonna talk about it a little bit more when we get into the actual technique for rowing, how I want you to get your feet in and out of the rower to save a ton of time. But overall, I want you to think about fast transitions. That means once you get out of the rower, ideally, you shouldn't have to go very far for your deadlift bar. And then when you're done with your deadlifts, you shouldn't have to move very far for your double unders. It's important that everything is close. That's why I'm suggesting setting everything up parallel. So that means my deadlift bar is basically as close to the rower as I feel comfortable, and then the jump rope is laying parallel to the barbell. So that ideally, right when we step out and we're done our deadlifts, I can just step into the rope that I have perfectly laid out, pick it up, and go. What I don't want to see is people who are doing their double unders like this, if they jump around a little bit or if they accidentally move backwards, the rope's going to hit the bar, it's going to hit the plate, and they're going to start tripping. So try to keep everything parallel and try to keep everything set up nice and neatly so there aren't too many extra steps in between equipment. That is a huge thing that's going to save you a lot of time to help you get your best score. Okay, it's time to talk about the individual movements. Let's start with rowing. When it comes to the rower, as I mentioned earlier, many people are going to come out far too fast. Your goal here in terms of pacing should be about your 5K pace. A lot of people, they're gonna get on this rower and they're gonna start ripping it, and they're gonna waste a lot of energy saving a few seconds on the rower, and then that's gonna make them fatigue over the course of this 20-minute workout. So again, keep your row paced. The next thing I wanna talk about, and this is probably the most important transition piece in the whole workout, is getting in and out of the rower. When we're set up, ideally, I want you to be able to just put your foot into the straps, grab the handle, half a pull to get it spinning, and then big pull. And then I'm into my row. Our goal should be to get to our row pace very quickly. So don't spend a lot of time building up. Ideally, get there fast and then stay there. That's why it's important not to have a pace that's too fast. So get there fast with a few nice hard pulls and then try to stay there so you're not wasting a lot of time building up to that pace. But let's go back to the foot straps. Did everyone see what I did? I put my feet in the rower, and then when I stopped rowing, I just took my feet out. What I don't want you to do, and what so many athletes are gonna do, is they're gonna put their feet in the rower, they're gonna strap them up, and then they're gonna start pulling. Maybe waste a few seconds. But then at the end of the row, they're gonna go like this. They're gonna loosen their straps. It's too tight. They're gonna loosen them a little bit more. They're gonna really loosen them. And then when they come back to the rower, the same thing. It's gonna be way too loose, and then they're gonna tighten all the way. My goal for you is to not touch the straps the entire workout. So when you're getting your equipment set up, get them nice and tight, and then I just want you to loosen it just a little bit by pressing on those tabs. Ideally, I should be able to row with a slight looseness in the strap so that I can easily just kick my feet in and out, no problem, as over the course of the workout. The next thing I want to talk about when it comes to the rowing is we've talked about getting our feet in and out. The next thing, I want you to try to relax your grip when you're rowing. So if I'm death gripping this handle, there is a chance this workout can get kind of grippy with all the deadlifts, and our grip's already fatigued from last week. So it could get a little grippy. So as you're rowing, I want you to just kind of like loosen your grip just a little bit. Like as you pull, you kind of loosen your grip on the way back down. You can see I'm kind of just like twiddling my fingers here. And all that's going to do is just going to prevent your forearms from blowing up in this workout, and that's something that we don't want. So really just think about loosening our grip just a little bit as we row. And then the last thing, when it comes to rowing technique, normally when I row, I'm going to kind of reach forward in the catch quite a bit, and I'm going to also lean back quite a bit. If we do that, there's a chance we're going to be blowing up the same muscles that we need for the deadlift. So what we're suggesting with the row is try to have your catch a little bit more vertical. So you can see my torso is vertical here. I don't want you really reaching and really extending crazily on the row, because again, that's going to fatigue us a lot when it comes to the deadlift. So instead of reaching too much in your catch position, which is this position, I want you to just try to keep your torso a little bit more vertical. So I'm not overreaching, because again, that's going to cause maybe our lower back to blow up if you're an athlete that has that happen all the time. That long hinge will really hurt with that. So try to keep the torso a little bit more vertical than you're used to. You can also maybe think about it, it's more of a squatty row form, and that's just going to help save the muscles for the deadlift. Next, let's talk about the deadlift. No matter who you are, I highly suggest using a staggered grip. So even if the deadlift is light for you, if it's heavy for you, if it's somewhere in the middle, always use a staggered grip, because that's going to save our grip a lot. If you usually do deadlifts overhand with a hook grip, you can try it, but it's going to fatigue your forearms a lot more. So I just like to step up to the bar, staggered grip, and what's good is I can pretty much I can relax, and the barbell is going to stay right in place without too much over gripping with my hands. Doesn't matter which way you do the staggered grip, it's just something we highly suggest. Next, depending on how heavy this barbell is for you, my opinions and my suggestions are going to change. If this is well below 50% of your 1 rep max, ideally you should go unbroken on the deadlifts, and you don't need to worry about a belt. The reason being is because a belt is going to cause a lot of transition time errors. And if you happen to forget to loosen it enough, when you're on the rower, it's constricting your breathing. When you're on the double unders, it's constricting your breathing. And that's not good in a 20-minute AMRAP like this. So do without the belt if you can swing it, or if you're someone whose low back blows up, you can use a belt, but just make sure you're not fiddling with it the whole workout. Ideally, you only strap it tight when you're doing the deadlifts, and then you unstrap it and leave it that way for the double unders and the rowing. But again, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. If you make it too loose, it could fall down when you're doing double unders. There's a lot of things that we don't want. If the deadlift is heavy for you, let's say it's 75% or more of your 1 rep max, then quick singles are okay. So that means like this: I grab, stand, drop. Grab, stand, drop. Quick singles, ideally we don't want a bar that's loaded with plates that are going to be bouncing around the gym. We don't want to deadlift and then step back and step back up. Just try to keep your feet in the same position, reach down, stand up, and do quick singles if you're someone whose deadlift is really heavy. Now, if you're somewhere in the middle, you could break up the deadlifts just to kind of throttle your speed a little bit. You could do something like 6 and 4 or 5 and 5, but ideally, hopefully for a lot of people, staying unbroken is something that we can do in this workout. If not, use smart sets and don't take too much time in between each set or in between each single. Now, let's talk about the double under. Everyone pay attention. Put your phone down. Turn off everything around you and just focus on this one tip, because it is the most crucial tip for all double underers, and it's the easiest tip of them all. Tie your flippin' shoes. And when I say tie your shoes, I mean tie your shoes tightly and don't use a single knot like some savage whose parents didn't raise them properly. Use a double knot and pull it tight. The amount of people who will have their shoelaces come untied and then their shoelaces will cause tripping on the double unders, I'm telling you, thousands of athletes will do that. Don't be one of them. If you watch this WODprep video and still your shoelaces come untied, I'm going to have to disown you. Please tie your shoes, everybody. Please. The next thing, now that we've gotten the shoe tying thing out of the way, the next thing I want you to think about is jump rope organization. So a lot of people, when they get done their double unders, they get done their last set, they throw their rope down, and a lot of times it ends in some crazy twisted thing. The amount of people I've seen get to their double unders and they pick it up and it's in some knot that they have to undo. Don't be that person. So again, when we're doing double unders, let's say you get done your set. Okay, you're done your set. I want you to take the rope and just lay it down in a nice U facing away from you. And that's because when we're done our deadlifts, I want you to be able to step right into the rope. It's organized. I pick it up and now I can start jumping. If you throw your rope down, it's going to get tangled at some point during this workout. Don't be that person. Always lay it down in a U facing away from you so that it's easy to just pick it up and go. The next tip for double unders is do 1 or 2 single unders before my set of double unders. That's because double unders are all about rhythm. It's about finding the beat to the music. So if I pick up my rope and I immediately go into a double under, there's a lot of times that causes athletes to trip. Athletes that can do 30, 40, 50, 100 double unders, but they'll trip on their first rep. That's inexcusable. So you might save half a second, but I don't want you to. I'd rather see you pick up the rope, take a nice deep breath, do 1 single under, and then get into your set of double unders. Because just doing that 1 or 2 single unders helps get our composure, helps us find our rhythm, and get into hopefully that big set of unbroken double unders that you're going to be able to do. Okay, so we've talked about a couple double under tips for everyone. Now I want to focus on more high-level double under athletes. So these are the people that can do 50 unbroken, no problem. I want you to focus on relaxing and breathing. Oftentimes in the middle of our workouts, we count our own double unders. So we'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we do that, it kind of naturally causes us to have frantic breathing. That's not your job. Your judge's job is to count your double unders. Make sure they're counting your jumps. And then I want you to just focus on breathing, focus on relaxing, because ideally the double unders should be your rest period. This other stuff is where it's going to get hard, but the double unders should be relaxed, they should be easy, and you should focus on deep breathing. Don't focus on counting, because that's going to make you hyperventilate. If you trip, it's not the end of the world. I fully expect to trip a few times in this workout, and I can do 300 plus double unders. That's because this is a long workout. Do not have a double under freak out or a double under meltdown in this workout. If you trip more than you're used to, that's fine. You're tired. Just pick the rope up, gain your composure, and keep going. Don't let it derail your workout. Trips are going to happen. Even the best in the world will probably trip on their double unders in this workout. Next, it goes without saying, make sure you have a great rope. Hopefully you have a rope that you're used to and feels like a rest, as it should in this workout, again, for high-level athletes. If you don't, I highly suggest this RX Smart Gear. This is the Evo G2 rope. It is the best double under jump rope I've ever had. Double unders feel like resting. That's because the cable's super fast. This is their lightest cable, and it's an uncoated rope. So it hurts when you trip, but if you don't trip very much, it's great. And then it has the fastest bearings I've ever had on a jump rope. We can let the video play for probably 20 minutes and this thing's gonna keep spinning. Maybe not 20 minutes, but it spins for a really long time. It's still spinning right now. It has the best cable, best handle, best everything. All the components are top notch, and that's why it's not very cheap. If you want a discount on this rope, just check the link in the comments, go to rxsmartgear.com, use the code WODprep, and all of their high-level Evo ropes are just absolutely outstanding and great for advanced athletes who can do double unders. Next, let's talk about those athletes who aren't very good at double unders or maybe can't get any right now. What I want you to do to start is probably put away your crazy fast speed rope, because chances are you've purchased a really fast rope because you think that's the problem preventing you from doing double unders. Spoiler alert, it's probably not. There's probably a lot more things going on. It might be control, and oftentimes it's because people have these ridiculously fast ropes and they overspin. So what I suggest for beginners, if you're trying to learn how to string together a few unbroken, or you're trying to get your first double under ever, I highly suggest picking up a heavier cabled rope. This is the RX Smart Gear CustomFit, and this is their buff cable, so I think it's 3.4 ounces. It's a heavier rope, and what that does is it keeps a nice, solid feedback in your hands. I can feel that rope as it turns around my body. I can't with the speed rope. So until you're a double under master, I highly suggest getting a slightly heavier rope. That's really going to help you out. And again, this is available at rxsmartgear.com. This is just the custom fit with a buff cable. Highly recommended. Just find a slightly heavier jump rope if you're struggling with double unders. The next tip for beginners is, if you can keep the rope spinning, do it. And what I mean by that is maybe you're someone who, when you try for big unbroken sets, you trip. But maybe you're an athlete that can do this. Maybe you can do single, single, double, or single, double, or a few singles with a double. I like that for this workout better than trying to go for big unbroken sets and tripping. Another huge mistake the double under beginners make is the rope is too short. If you can't hear your jump rope clicking the ground, hopefully you can hear that. It goes tap, 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 tap. If you can't hear your rope clicking the ground when you go to do double unders because maybe your arms lift, if that causes your rope to lose contact with the ground and it's not clicking, it means you need a longer rope. Even if you have some arm lift, that's natural. We need to have that rope long enough so that it's clicking the ground underneath your feet. If it loses contact with the ground, that means you need a longer rope. If you are an athlete that's trying to learn double unders, first of all, we have so many videos, so please go watch all of the WODprep videos about double unders. I'll make sure we have a few linked in the description in the top comments below, and I'll make sure to send out that email when you join and go to wodprep.com/open and join. I'll have some double under training tutorials to send you to help you finally master these things. Here's a quick tip for someone who's never done a double under before. It doesn't have to be pretty. If you're trying to experience some of that open magic that's all too real and get your first double under, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do a few speed singles. Do fast speed singles, do a few of those. And then a few big singles, really slow where I'm jumping as high as I can. Then a few penguin claps. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then once you've done that, I want you to pick up that rope, do a few big singles, and try a double. Even if that double under is you jumping high, picking your feet in the air, flailing your arms like a maniac, it's okay if it helps you get that first rep, because we got to start with 1. And then once you have 1, we can move on from there, and that's what a lot of my other videos are for. So regardless of where you're at with your double unders, I hope that these tips help. Please go consult my other videos. I have hours of content to help you get better at double unders. So I hope that you liked that video. We covered a lot of stuff from pacing, overall strategy, and then we talked about each of the individual movements, and I even gave some double under tips for people who can't quite nail them yet. Again, this video thankfully has been sponsored by RX Smart Gear. Please go to rxsmartgear.com, use the code WODprep, and you can get a discount on these amazing ropes, whether you're an advanced athlete that wants to get the Evo rope, it's awesome, or a beginner athlete that maybe gets the custom fit with a buff cable. I promise they have great ropes that will help you master double unders. And if you want the complete strategy guide to go along with this video, which has mindset tips, it has skill tips. I'm gonna send out extra tutorials about double unders. It's gonna have a lot of bonus content. Just go to wodprep.com/open and your name and email, and I will email you everything as soon as it's ready. And with that, that has been 24.2. Go out and crush it, and I will see you on the leaderboard. Hey, did you like this video? Well, I have a lot more where that came from, where you can enhance your skills even more and learn a bunch. Click this box to watch my next video.